We're here in Beijing with the last part of this program. Welcome back. In true American tradition, the image of the rugged individual stands tall. And this in part is supported by a constitutional amendment that gives individuals the right to bear arms. But some argue the original intent has now backfired. Multiple shootings claimed 57 lives in the US last month and nearly 30 more in the first half of this month. After the first tears and fears, reaction to the massacre switches to discussions on America's gun culture.
For some, America has become a war zone. The casualties are not enemy soldiers, but classmates, family members, colleagues, and other innocent people. On April 3rd, gunshots rocked Binghamton, New York.
Devastated. Just didn't know what to think. He lives right next door to me, and everything that happened, it was just terrible.
Jubilee Wong, an immigrant from Vietnam, turned his gun on people who were new to America. Some specialists think the economic downturn is behind the rise in mass murders. When Wong's American dream shattered, he created a nightmare for others.
I'm very sad and I'm shocked that somebody with a gun in 30 seconds could kill 13 people. That's pretty sad.
President Barack Obama was traveling in Europe when the shooting took place. He prayed for the victims, but was mute on whether he would take action on gun control or ammunition regulation. Traditionally, Democrats are more likely to favor gun control than Republicans. But as pro-gun groups hold crucial votes, many Democrats retreat from gun control. When Obama ran his presidential campaign last year, he made a play for pro-gun voters in Pennsylvania.
Supporters are as passionate.
And it paid off, with 55% of the votes. 2 months after Obama took office, 3 police officers in Pennsylvania were shot dead by a 22-year-old man.
He actually had 2, one assault rifle and one long arm rifle, as well as 1 pistol and a lot of ammo.
The right to own a gun and defend oneself is central to the American identity. Guns were integral to America's westward expansion, enabling settlers to protect themselves from Indians, animals, and foreign armies. Since then, citizens assumed much responsibility for self-protection. Today, as the economy is ailing, fear of social unrest grows, and gun sales are ratcheting up. In the first 2 months of this year, around 2.5 million Americans bought guns, a fourth more than in the same period in 2008. It echoes the days after Hurricane Katrina slammed the U.S. Paul Angelica is a first-time gun owner. He bought a gun 2 days after hearing news reports about looting in the New Orleans area.
With a weapon, I feel much more safer. And, instead of looking over my shoulder every minute.
The U.S. has no national gun registry. It's impossible to know exactly how many guns are in circulation or who has them. The FBI estimates there are more than 200 million guns in civilian hands. And some experts estimate the number to be between 250 and 300 million. That's roughly 1 weapon for every American. The U.S. National Association of Education estimates that about 100,000 students take arms to school every day. In April 1999, 2 teenage students executed a shooting rampage, killing 12 other students and a teacher before committing suicide. In April 2007, a student opened fire in a classroom and a dormitory at Virginia Tech. 33 people were killed and 15 wounded. Statistics show that from 1996 to 2008, there were 71 school shootings around the world. 52 happened in the U.S.
I don't know, I was just in shock.
Cody Thunder survived the 2005 Minnesota school shooting, but he never believed his classmate would carry out an attack.
And then I went and talked to him a few times, and he talked about nothing but guns and shooting people.
Children in America learn about violence all too soon. The International Herald Tribune reported that one American youth could see 40,000 murder cases and 200,000 other violent acts from the media before the age of 18. A culture glorifying violence has made young people believe a gun can solve all problems. The U.S. is paying a high price for gun ownership. Shootings are the second largest cause of death in the country. When the U.S. Supreme Court declared that the Second Amendment to the Constitution guarantees the right of individual Americans to keep and bear arms, it seemed the legislation is more pro-civil rights. But some civil rights activists called the recent spate of killings domestic terrorism. April 16th was the second anniversary of the shootings at Virginia Tech, and April 20th will be the 10th anniversary of the massacre at Columbine High School. Memorials come one after another. People are praying for the lives cut short, praying for their own, and praying for the day they won't need to worry about flying bullets.
Well, guns in the U.S. aren't aimed only at ordinary Americans. Among the 44 presidents, 4 were assassinated by guns, 2 were wounded by gunshots, and 3 escaped assassination attempts. The U.S. is the country with the most private guns, and gun control is one of the most divisive issues there. Pro or con, what's your opinion? If you've got an idea on that, please email us at worldinsight@cctv.com. We also welcome your suggestions of what you've been watching over the last 30 minutes. I'm James Chow in Beijing. That's how we wrap up this program. But of course, we'll see you at the same time next week for your insight on World Insight. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.